Hey guys, welcome back. We have another battle report for you today. This time it's going to be Invasion Fleet Tyranids versus Custodes. And we'll be back with the armies and the mission in just a second. Here we have the Tyranids. Like I said, this is an Invasion Fleet list. We are headed up with the Swarmlord as our warlord for today. He's going to be running with 6 Tyrant Guard who have Scything Talons. We've also got a regular Hive Tyrant all kitted out for close combat, and he has Adapted Biology, which can give him the 5-up Feel No Pain, goes up to a 4-up if he survives a phase getting wounded, and makes him kind of like a mini Norn. Speaking of which, we have a Norn Emissary, trying him out. I think he'll be fun in Invasion Fleet. Also happen to have a Maliceptor. I like running Maliceptors and Norns together. We'll see if that plays out well for me in this game. Also taking my trusty twin Tyrannofexes. I have been using them pretty consistently together, and they have done a lot of things for me. Ignore the dog. Also have a Biovore here because I never leave home without one. And I've got a Neurotyrant. He has the perfectly adapted enhancement, so he can reroll one type of roll per turn. And he's joining a unit of 22 Neurogaunts. Also have 1 Lictor to sit around and score objectives, hopefully. 1 Exocrine and 1 Psychophage. And that is 2,000 points on the nose of Tyranids. So the Custodes today are being piloted by Jeff, and he's going to go ahead and tell us what he's running here. It's the detachment Lions of the Emperor, right?
Yes, Lions of the Emperor.
All right, what are we looking at?
So the Warlord's Trajann, obviously, he'll be running with 4 guard, and then have Draxus with 4 guard. And then you're going to have two units of witches that are going to have the flamers, and 1 unit will be in a rhino. The other is their prosecutors. Then we're going to have a Contemptor Dreadnought. Then we're going to have the Shield Captain, Aloris, and Terminator armor with the enchantment that gives him a Lone Up. Then we'll have a Calidus Assassin. We'll have 2 units of Alaris Custodes. We're going to have a Shield Captain on a Dong Eagle Jet Bike, accompanied by the Virtuous
Praetors?
Yeah, thank you. And then finally, a Land Raider that will house Trajann and his guard.
Nice. Very cool.
And that is 1,995 points of Custodes.
Amazing. And real quick, you got to tell them what you do with this Contemptor.
All right, the Contemptor is solely in the list because I want him to stand on my home objective and stand back up when you kill him. That's it. That's what he's for.
Which is the reason he's not got the multi-melter like you usually see.
That gun does dead wounds. So multi-melter
Very
or not,
cool.
It's going to wound you.
All right, we'll be right back with the mission and deployment. Here we are with deployment. We have the mission, first of all, is Take and Hold, and we are playing on Tipping Point. So this is how we've got everything set up. The the Custodes have a ton of guys set up back here with some of the, what are these guys called? The regular guard with Draxus?
Yep.
Custodian guard or whatever. Yep. And then you've got these guys back here, the Alaris, yes. Right? And you've got some of the Witch Seekers. Or what's the difference between a Witch Seeker and a Prosecutor?
The Witches have a Flamer, and they scout. So
gotcha.
If the Flamer hits you, it causes battle shock.
Okay, so you've got 2 units here. 1 right here behind this building, and 1 inside the Rhino, correct?
Yes.
And then inside the Land Raider, you have Trajann and 4 guard.
Yes.
And then you've got this guy in reserves, strategic reserves, correct?
Yes.
All right, so that is deployment for the Custodes. Over on the Tyranid side, we knew that there wasn't a ton of firepower, so we deployed pretty aggressively. Lictor's right here, so he can grab objectives if I draw anything that needs the No Man's Land objectives turn 1. Got 1 Tyrannofex down here on the side, another Tyrannofex on the opposite side, since they have pretty good reach with their guns and pretty good movement. They can usually get good shooting angles there. Also threw down the Hive Tyrant here just to provide some support and synapse on this end, along with the Psychophage. The Neuro Tyrant and all of the little Gaunts are right back here. Biovore in the back corner, as always. Excrin hiding in here behind the building. Swarmlord and Tyrant Guard ready to go towards whatever objective they need. And the Norn picked the center objective as the primary objective for it. And the Maliceptor right there to provide some support. We'll see if that ends up working out, since I know that Custodes hit pretty hard. And that is our deployment. Should we go ahead and roll off for turn?
Yeah.
All right, we'll roll off to see who goes first. Looks like Tyranids are going first.
Good luck, dude.
We'll be back after turn 1.
Yeah.
Tyranids won that roll to go first, and here we are at the end of Tyranid Turn 1. Got super aggressive and just moved everything up. We drew recover assets and extend battle lines. We were able to recover with the Lictor in No Man's Land and the Neuro Tyrant and Neurogaunt unit in the deployment zone there. So we were able to score recover assets for 3 points and extend battle lines for 4 points. Really good draw, honestly, for first turn. And so we're sitting on the middle objective, and this objective over here, my natural expansion in the for my deployment zone. And then we were able to fire both Tyrannofexes, and they were the only things that were able to shoot this turn. This Tyrannofex shot at the Land Raider after making a good advance and being within range of the Hive Tyrant, but its shots just bounced. Needed a 3 to wound, and I only got 1 shot through anyway. He popped smoke, and I just didn't wound it. And then over here, the other Tyrannofex went ahead and fired at the Rhino, and I only got 1 hit, and then I also failed to wound. I needed a 2, and I rolled a 1. So, not so good damage-wise, but scored some good points and got on the objectives that we wanted to get to. So we will see what the Custodes do in return in just a moment. We are back after Custodes turn 1. So at the beginning of the turn, he drew Secure No Man's Land and Extend Battle Lines. Also very good turn 1 draws. He was able to get Secure and Extend right here with the Rhino, just moving right onto the objective. Didn't get out for obvious reasons. And the rest of the army just kind of staged. The Land Raider scooted over, got some good shots into the Tyrannofex, but wasn't able to pop through the armor too much. The las cannons were saved against, and the Hunter Killer missile went through, but only did 2 damage, and I had used Rapid Regeneration Stratagem to get that 5 up, feel no pain, and after all was said and done, only ended up taking 1 wound on the Tyrannofex there. So he also had the little, what are they, Witch Seekers or whatever, that are in the Rhino with the flamethrowers that cause battle shock, shot out at the Tyrant Guard, and the Rhino shot its Hunter Killer missile and bolters at the Tyrant Guard with the Swarmlord, but didn't get any damage through to them either. So round 1, we both had a bunch of shooting that did a whole lot of nothing. And we're kind of set up. We're going to go ahead and see what happens in turn 2. Right now, we have 6 points from turn 1 for Custodes and 7 points on turn 1 for the Tyranids. So very close game so far. We'll see how it goes. Here we are at the end of Tyranid Turn 2. Pretty decent turn here. We grabbed more good cards. We got Area Denial and Display of Might, which we basically already had at the start of the turn because we were so aggressive moving forward early on. We went ahead and moved up just a little bit further, except the Tyrannofex and Tyrant back here, who just kind of stayed in place. Tyrannofex sat still, fired 2 shots at the Land Raider, got both hits, and then the Land Raider saved on like a 5 and a 6 or something. And so didn't do anything that. He also popped smoke, which was really annoying again, and I just can't seem to get anything through. Over on this side, we did have a little more success. However, we were able to pop the Rhino with the Exocrine. Exocrine was able to do 9 wounds to it, and then the last wound was done, I think, by this Psychophage here. Managed to pop one last wound through with his Flamer. And then there were 3 sisters that ended up surviving, or whatever they're called, Witch Seekers. And we were able to make the charge with the Swarmlord's unit, gobble them up, and take that objective from them. The other Tyrann effects fired all into the Land Raider and also did nothing again. And the Maleceptor fired into the Land Raider, did nothing. The only one to do anything was the Norn, who was able to get 1 Melta shot through and did 5 total damage, bringing the Land Raider down to 11 wounds. So we took out a Rhino, took out a small unit of sisters, and did 5 wounds to the Land Raider, and scored our secondaries. We also started the round on 3 objectives, so we scored max primary for that turn, and we're currently at, 41 to 16 so far, but again, this is just Tyranid turn 2, and Custodes will have a chance to get their turn 2 score in, and we'll see where we stand after that. Coming back after Custodes turn 2. Here we are at the end of Custodes turn 2, and for the secondaries, they managed to draw Bring It Down and No Prisoners. So what happened here, there was a whole other round of shooting, which was relatively ineffective. We have just been bouncing off each other's armor all day in the shooting phase. In the combat phase, however, we got quite a few units in. Over here, well, first of all, there were a couple units killed for no prisoners, and it was 2 units of spore mines that were nuked. One guy dropped in. I didn't quite place that spore mine just far enough, and I wasn't careful, and this guy hopped in and took him out. And that was a no prisoner point. And then they also took out the Contemptor, who ran up into the middle and shot down the spore mine that was in the middle there. Or somebody shot it down that was over here. In the charge phase, we got these guys in to the Tyrannofex, and they did no damage to him, and he did no damage to them, but they are sitting there on the objective, holding him up a little bit. And then these guys got in here to the Norn. He did 2 wounds with Talon to one of these guys, but wasn't able to kill anyone. And they were able to knock a couple more wounds off of him. I think they did 3 wounds total to him that turn. Or 4. I think it was 4. The Contemptor actually failed its charge, but decided not to re-roll it because he needed the CP to get all of these guys in over here. And Swarmlord's unit just got swamped by all of these units here. Trajann, his unit got in here. Even the Land Raider decided to go and do a tank shock and did some mortal wounds, knocked out a whole Tyrant Guard by himself there. The shooting took out 2 to 3 Tyrant Guard, and then the combat took out the rest of the Tyrant Guard, and even knocked the Swarmlord down to his very last wound. I was able to keep him alive barely with the Rapid Regeneration Strike, given that 5-up Feel No Pain for that phase. But he took some serious damage. However, being able to stay alive meant he was able to kill 3 of those guard in return, and also denied Bring It Down. So Jeff was able to pitch that for a CP at the end of the turn, and this is where we stand. The score right now, because he only had the 1 home objective at the beginning of his turn, is 40. What is it, Jeff? 41 to 26. I was able to max primaries, and he didn't, and he's a little behind on the secondaries just for this round. So we were able to pull ahead, but he's going to start getting challenger cards, and now we're pretty stuck in. So we will see where it goes in Tyranid turn 3. Back in Flash. So here we are at the end of Tyranids turn 3. On this turn, we drew Established Locus and No Prisoners. So right away, we just had the Lictor hop right into the center there and go ahead and establish Locus in the center of the board. And then we had just went for as many kills as we possibly could this turn. This Tyrannofex shot at the Contemptor that was over here and managed to knock him out after he took a few wounds from the Maleceptor. And then the Tyrannofex over here managed to shoot Trajann directly and knock him out after the guard that was with him was taken out by the Exocrine. The Psychophage was able to charge in here, and let's see, what else did we manage to do? We did manage to knock out one of the bikes over here, and Swarmlord's still hanging out back here with his one wound. We knocked out a few of the guard in combat over here with the Norn, and so there's one guard with Draxus left here, and we knocked out one of the Terminators with the Tyrant over here. But we also had these two guys pop in through Rapid Ingress, all lined up to come this way too. So we'll see what they end up doing. We did manage to max out no prisoners, just barely, and we got our points for established locus. And again, this turn we also held the 3 primaries. So we're pretty far ahead on primaries, but we will see what happens next in Custodes turn 3. All right, guys, we are back at the end of Custodes turn 3. For this turn, they drew behind enemy lines and marked for death, and also was able to get a challenger card at this battle round, and we were able to score all of those. So behind enemy lines was scored back here with this, what's this guy called again? The
lower shield captain.
Okay, the captain, he moved up a little bit but stayed in the deployment zone, and then the assassin dropped into the deployment zone as well. So they were there, scored behind enemy lines for 4 points. The march for death targets were pretty hard, but we Custodes were able to get the gamma target, which was the Swarmlord, who was here on 1 wound. These guys were able to go back and knock him out. And then the challenger card was renewed focus, and we were able to get 3 points on that for established comms. And so plenty of points there. Also, at the beginning of this turn, they controlled this home objective and this no man's land objective for 10 primary points. And so that brought the score up to 63 for Tyranids, 45 for Custodes. They did pick up a good number of points that turn. Also, they were able to knock off a bunch of wounds on the Psychophage here. This Land Raider is the bane of my existence right now. I can't kill it, and it keeps coming in and doing damage. Lots of tank shocks and las cannons come my way. Dropped both of these guys to 3 wounds each. So the Tyrannofex is on 3, and the Psychophage is also on 3. And the sisters flamed it and battle shocked it as well. So I don't have any OC on that objective right now. This side is crumbling a little bit, but we were able to knock out Draxus and the Guard with the Maleceptor and Norn, although there were only 1 left of each, and it took both of them to do that damage. And then over here, the other 2 Alaris Custodians were able to move up and make a charge. They got into the Tyrannofex, but they weren't able to do the damage to it, and then the Hive Tyrant was able to pile in and knock them out. So that was it over here, and it'll be going into Tyranid turn 4. Coming back. All right, so here we are at the end of Tyranid turn 4, and we drew Sabotage and a Tempting Target. So Custodes went ahead and obviously picked the tempting target that was already difficult for us to get. The Land Raider and those other Witch Seekers were holding it down pretty hard over here, but we were able to fall back and then just started shooting at it. And it was the Norn that came over here that was able to knock it out with some Melta shots. So we managed to take that out. And then the Tyrannofex was able to shoot at the sisters that were here, or the Witch Seekers, whatever they're called, and took them out as well. So we also had some shooting going down with the Exocrine. He was able to shoot at this unit of bikes and took out the bike and wounded this captain. And then the Biovore put another 2 wounds on the captain over here. Over on this side, the Lictor held down the objective, scooted over, and scored Sabotage in this terrain feature. And the Maleceptor left the objective, thought he was going to go take over this objective, But those prosecutors or whatever they're called managed to make a bunch of saves, and they are holding it down, and they continue to hold that objective at the home there. Maliceptor's just hanging out. And so there are still a few Custodes units left that can still score points, but the majority of the army has been taken down by the Tyranids. And we have these two back here as well, too, the captain and the assassin. And we will see what Custodes can do in their turn 4 for points. Right now the score is 86 Tyranids to 45 Custodes. And we will be back after Custodes turn 4. All right, here we are at the end of Custodes turn 4. He drew, I forgot what the other one was, but discarded it because it wasn't achievable, and drew Defend Stronghold and got Overwhelming Force. And also the Challenger card was Burst of Speed. And this Challenger card was actually kind of unfortunate because there's not a lot of units left that can do this. And the units that he had to do this against were not really ideal targets. So Burst of Speed did not happen this turn. But we did still have, Custodes did still control this primary because they out OC the Maliceptor, and they were able to fall back and stay there. And the captain that was over here decided to take advantage of the fact that there was only a lictor holding this objective down, flew over, shot it, did 3 wounds, and then killed it in combat on the charge. And that was it for the turn. So picked up a few more points in turn 4. And the score is currently 86 Tyranids to 53 for the Custodes. So we will see what happens at the end of the game here after turn 5. All right, end of turn 5 for Tyranids. We were able to get marked for death and defend Stronghold. We will be able to score defend Stronghold, and we were able to get a marked for death target. Oh yeah, that guy's gone. And so we were able to pretty much knock everything out except the Calidus, who is up in reserves. So we were able to max out primaries here. So at the end of Tyranid turn 5, that Calidus is up in the air. The score is 99 to 53, or it will be 99 after Defend Stronghold scores. But we'll see if battle round 5, or turn 5 for the Custodes, the assassin can score any more points. But that's where we are. We'll be right back. All right, end of the game here. We had the Challenger card, Pivotal Moment, and we're not able to get Attrition. Also drew for secondaries, recover assets, and establish locus. And so what the Custodes player chose to do, Jeff just dropped his Calidus Assassin right back here in my deployment zone and established locus here for 4 more points. And that was it. That was game. The final score for this game was Tyranids 99, Custodes 57. And Jeff, any last thoughts on the end of this game here? Closing thoughts? What do you think was good, bad, hard to deal with?
I just didn't have enough firepower to deal with all your giant nets.
Yeah, so I was trying Invasion Fleet specifically so I could have more Feel No Pain.
Yeah.
Because this Tyrant has the Feel No Pain enhancement, the Norn gets the Feel No Pain as soon as it gets on the objective, Psychophage has a Feel No Pain, and then I can drop that Feel No Pain strat pretty much anywhere I need it, which is exactly what I did. So whenever you tried to focus something, I was able to just get that Feel No Pain and make it just really hard to kill. And on top of that, you don't have a ton of AP, and I have a ton of 2+ armor saves in this particular list. So this, there were a lot of Neg 1, Neg 2 weapons. The Neg 2 does put me on my 4-up invul, but I have a lot of 4-up invuls in this army.
Throughout all that, the only things that are Neg 2 are the combat weapons.
Oh, the shooting was all Neg 1.
Yeah, it's all Neg 1.
I'd say your MVP for this game was the Land Raider that just kind of held it down here, refused to die.
Yeah.
It was just the one tough vehicle, but man, when you stealth that every turn, that thing took forever to get rid of. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting game, interesting matchup. I definitely want my army to be durable, and that seemed to work this time. But yeah, like you said, a lot of your shooting was pretty much just AP1. So I mean, I feel like you still did a good job because you lost most of your army by pretty much turn 3.
Yeah.
And you were still able to score points every single turn, which was good. But yeah, that's kind of tough matchup. I think if you were fighting against a more like an infantry based list, you would have just.
Fighting against Marines.
Oh man, Marines would have been clobbered. Yeah. So it was an interesting matchup for sure. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the battle report. This was a really fun game to play, and well, for the Tyranids, we liked it. Nah, we it was definitely kind of a lopsided battle just with the way the armies matched up, which we didn't anticipate, but definitely found out quick. So we'll have to see if this Tyranid army can do the same thing into like knights or something. That would be an interesting matchup as well. And we'll see what Jeff decides to do with his custodes next time. And we will be back with another battle report soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed.